Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Icons versus chaos. Why did everything go wrong? Let me say it this way. Why does everything go wrong for some fighters, some athletes? And why do things go well for athletes? See, this is an interesting conversation because I definitely feel there are two different paths to greatness. There's been so much talk about Claressa Shields, women in boxing, but man, there just isn't enough conversations about women in sports. And I can understand why. But I'm going to take this time to talk about legacy, controversy, why things work out for these female athletes and why things don't. Let me first start off by saying women's sports has produced some of the most disciplined, marketable, inspirational athletes the world has ever seen. Now, these names I'm going to mention, I know you all are familiar with them. Serena Williams, Angel Reese, Simone Biles, Leila Ali. These women became global brands. They dealt with criticism, they dealt with pressure, they dealt with all the BS that comes with being super successful and in the spotlight. Hell, they even dealt with racism, sexism, expectations, media narratives, and public scrutiny. Yet somehow, their names rarely became attached to physical altercations, public chaos, endless online feuds, or constant controversy. Meanwhile, you got Big Goat, Claressa Shields, who's gone on to become one of the most polarizing figures in combat sports. The conversation surrounding her often shifts away from boxing accomplishments and towards drama, arguments, confrontations, and controversy, and even now, with her slapping Alycia Baumgardner. So for those of you in the comments saying she didn't slap her, listen, I'm telling you the facts. She slapped her in the face. Don't tell me what you think. I'm telling you the facts. And if I say something, take it as fact, okay? And I'll just leave it as that. She slapped her in the face. Now, all of this crap with the conversation surrounding Claressa Shields, this is why nobody's talking about her boxing accomplishments anymore. Because she's not out here. She's not even talking about boxing. Everything about her is about drama, arguments, confrontations, controversy, fighting, hurting. It's ridiculous. And that's why many fans are focusing on all the negative. Now, Serena Williams, greatness through discipline and control. What made Serena great? Why is it Serena was able to be great and Claressa is not? Well, you got to understand. Serena dominated tennis physically, mentally, and culturally. She changed the standard for women's tennis forever. The standard, people. Her power changed the sport. Her confidence changed the sport. Her longevity changed the sport. She became bigger than tennis itself. Serena carried herself like a superstar while under unbelievable pressure. She had every opportunity, if she wanted, to go left, to respond to the critics, respond to the haters, the naysayers, respond to all the detractors. She didn't. She was able to avoid constant chaos. Now, don't get me wrong. She had emotional moments. She argued with officials and criticism over the years, but she rarely allowed herself to become consumed by internet beef or public feuds. She knew she had a responsibility, and she was operating at a different level. You can't get down in the weeds with negative-ass people. She understood her branding. She understood her legacy. She understood that every public moment affects endorsement money, public respect, and long-term opportunities. See, there's a lot of people out here who are on the internet They don't think about this because, one, they don't have those opportunities. And they're looking at short-term success, short-term returns. When you're looking long-term, you're thinking about, man, how can this affect my money? How can this affect endorsements? And many people out here, they don't care about public respect. They're just worried about their little support system. They're not thinking about long-term opportunities. So with Serena's system, Serena Williams, she mastered the balance between confidence and professionalism. And as a result, look at the long-term results. Billion-dollar brand power. Crazy. Respect across generations. Corporate partnerships. Fashion opportunities. Business opportunities. Global admiration. Absolutely amazing at the long-term results. All because Serena Williams, she understood greatness through discipline and control. Then you have Simone Biles. Simone Biles, greatness through composure and self-awareness. Now, Simone Biles went through a couple things. But before I get to that, let's talk about what made her great. Now, we all know she became the face of gymnastics excellence. Watching her do them floor, every exercise, but man, the way she's landing and sticking things and like her balance, I mean, just everything about her was absolutely excellent. Many consider her the greatest gymnast ever. And that says a whole lot, speaks volumes about her performances. Now, her skill level separated her from everyone else, and she performed under pressure unlike almost anyone in sports history. But let me tell you the key difference here. She showed that protecting mental health is not weakness. She was under a lot of pressure. She dealt with a lot of stuff. People out here, look, the internet is cruel. You got people who wake up, don't floss and brush their teeth, don't wash their ass, don't wash their face, don't put on deodorant, nothing. Nasty bastards that will get on the internet and say anything about anyone just for clicks and views. They don't even talk about their own family. But so you just think about that and now just imagine what Simone Biles was going through. But I respect the fact that instead of spiraling publicly into chaos, she stepped away when pressure became overwhelming. She controlled the narrative before the narrative controlled her. She didn't give them no viral moments. She didn't give them little clips or even audio, nothing to hear her, what the young people say, crash out. Nah, what she did was called accountability. She knew she had something she had to work on, and she stepped away and did what she had to do to come back bigger, better, stronger. And that takes maturity and discipline. And this is why a lot of fans respect her as well. She doesn't appear obsessed with internet validation. She rarely engages in toxic back and forth exchanges. And she keeps the focus on performance and growth. And I think that's extremely important. I think sometimes people forget, people on the internet don't know you. You don't know them. Some of these people who are coming out here validating people and praising them and all that, shit, if they really knew what that person really was, they wouldn't want nothing to do with them. They wouldn't even associate with them. So the internet ain't a real place. But a lot of people have respect for her because she kept the focus on performance and growth, and she took a knee. And said, I need to take a knee. I need to get myself healthy. And she did. And look at the long-term results. Olympic legend status. Worldwide respect. Massive sponsorships and positive public image. She did that, man. Now, there's someone else out here. Angel Reese. Now, she got all the confidence in the world, but without losing control. And she is very interesting to me. Angel Reese. Very, very interesting, man. She's very outspoken, confident. She's stylish, emotional, competitive. She understands the entertainment piece, but she also understands branding. But here's the difference, right? Most of her drama stays within sports culture and competitive rivalry. She rarely crosses into behavior that damages her professional image long term. She ain't gonna run out here and hit somebody and be cussing and carrying on and acting ignorant. She markets herself aggressively without appearing completely out of control. And that's because she has people who genuinely care about her. You think Shaquille O'Neal, who supports her, is going to tell her to go cuss and fight and punch people in the face and talk violence. Nah, you get on that court and you dominate. And all of this matters, especially how she aggressively markets herself without being out of control. Because modern athletes understand virality matters. The viral moments matter. But there's a difference between, again, building attention and becoming consumed by controversy. Long-term results for her: making that NIL money, sponsorships, magazine covers, growing influence. She is making that Wu-Tang Cream cha-ching ching dollar bill, y'all. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Then you got the ultimate, the blueprint for women's boxing professionalism. Leila Ali. You just watch how she moves today. She still be stinging on your ass. Now, people trying to understand, why did Laila become so special? Well, just understand she carried one of the heaviest names. Matter of fact, she carries the heaviest name in sports history, in my opinion. She's the daughter of Muhammad Ali. She had pressure before she even threw a punch. Now, what made her different, and even now? Her professionalism, calm demeanor, her presentation, her branding, media control. She understood how to carry herself publicly. But don't get it twisted now. She's a fighter. Leila Ali will put the bing bings on you. But she understands the importance of professionalism, branding, media control, and how not just jumping at every opportunity, speaking engagement, being a commentator. She's very particular about what she does. She understands media control. She understands how to carry herself publicly. She makes smart business decisions like Floyd Mayweather would say. But one key observation is Laila rarely appeared desperate for validation. You can see that about her. She don't care. She ain't worried about nobody validating her. Her moral compass is pointed the right direction, and that's the direction that she marches. She don't have time for worrying about someone going to validate her or give her a girl, here's the gold star. She don't care. And she rarely engaged in nonstop public feuds back in the day when she was a fighter. And even now, you ain't going to hear her really get caught up in that bull crap. She ain't got time for that. So she's all about her image, and she understands image protection. And she's very careful with it. Very careful with it. And this is why fans still respect her. Grace under pressure, professionalism, emotional control, dignity. She is the standard. And she really is the face of women's boxing even right now. She is that woman. She did that. And she's still doing that. She is it. Okay? Now, Claressa Shields. Let's talk about her situation. Okay? Talent versus turmoil. And that's just being real with you. Yeah, Claressa Shields, man, I feel she's gone the wrong direction. I feel her career, as far as how I see it, I just think it's over. Doesn't mean she won't fight and make a little money, but I just think it's over. Because when I talk about her career, I'm talking about everything that a career encompasses, and you can just think about the women I just talked about. Reese, Williams, Biles, and Leila Ali. The four women I just talked about. When you talk about a career, it's more than just winning. Claressa will win, but outside of that, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? The talent is undeniable. She's accomplished, decorated, historically important for women's boxing. Her boxing resume speaks for itself. Like, these are the facts, people. However, the public conversation has changed. Increasingly, the headlines surround her involve arguments, internet feuds, celebrity conflicts, social media disputes, arguing with fans, controversial statements, confrontational behavior, and even now assaulting people outside the ring. She slapped Baumgardner, and I'm shocked to see how fans are so split on whether they think she was right or wrong, but I'll tell you what, let's just sit back and wait and see how this plays out. Because the headlines surrounding Claressa Shields is nothing positive. And this is why fans are concerned. The fans believe the focus has shifted away from boxing excellence. Claressa ain't focused on boxing excellence. Her whole thought process is about violence, hitting somebody, fighting somebody. You know, if you say something about me, her relationship got her stressed out. Her career got her stressed out. Her appearance has her stressed out. Her family members have her stressed out. The internet has her stressed out. Everything, every unresolved trauma and shit from a child has her stressed out. You see what I'm saying? Everything about Claressa, man, it just seems that she has shifted away from boxing excellence. I like when she was out here fighting and whipping ass and going to MMA and doing her best there. She's 1-1. You can't do nothing but respect that because, you know, that's not her discipline. She learned it enough, good enough to go over there and be 1-1. Ain't nothing to laugh at because she lost one. Most people would never do that shit. Risk getting kneed in the face, kicked in the face, elbowed. She did that. And she was 1-1. But the concern is that the controversy is overshadowing accomplishment. You understand? I'm the only one that still brings that up. Because I'm just like, you know, I don't have an expectation for her. I don't like her. I don't dislike her. She's interesting. It's like a case study. But I don't have an expectation for her. But I bring it up because I like to remind people, like, hold on, before we all looked at her like, yo, she went straight Donkey Kong on the internet and gone Sesame Street on Alycia Baumgardner. There was a time where everybody held her in high regard, but not now. Because everything about her is controversy, drama, and having a bad attitude. Now, the Alycia Baumgardner incident. Yo, she slapped her. All right? So, that's the fact. She slapped her. But that shit that's circulating is just disgusting. Disgusting. Because Claressa should have known better than to put her hands on anybody. And I'm telling y'all right now, folks, this shit ain't over. I'm just letting you know right now, it is not over. But fans are reacting strongly because, again, physical confrontations outside the ring damage public perception quickly. And Claressa's public perception was already damaged. So what she should have been trying to do is not further damage up the public perception. Her and Alycia could have been arguing. First of all, Claressa was there. She wasn't nowhere near Alycia. She made her way. She got closer and closer and closer. And eventually found herself trying to stir up shit. So she knew what she was doing. She went there looking for problems. Well, I tell you what, she found one. And her reputation has forever been shaped as someone who's jealous, angry, sour, and insecure. And whether you think that's deserved or undeserved, this is what happens when you have moments like this. It shapes or reshapes or destroys your reputation. And Claressa's, or reinforces, because she already has a reputation for being a bully. We've had the mystery callers call into the show and talk about her back as a young lady in the Olympics and how basically what she's doing now, she was doing then. So she is what she is at this point in time, and she got to deal with the consequences of her choices. And I just think she should have never done that. We expect her to talk trash, to be loud. We expect that. But now she want to come out and put her hands on people. Because it's like, what's next? Or her and her man, papoose, pap, pap, brr. What's going to be next? Somebody going to come in there and shoot somebody, stab somebody? Somebody going to get jumped? They're going to jump Papoose and Claressa? Papoose going to get hurt, or he going to end up, what's going to happen? I know Papoose, he want to make money. Papoose don't want to be in no bullshit. He like drama, controversy. I ain't saying he can't handle a little confrontation, but he don't want to be in no shit where now someone punch him in the face or he's fighting or he getting arrested or he don't want to be in that. He don't want that shit. But there's the good, the bad, the ugly, man, with modern women's sports. The good, women's athletes are more visible than ever. Bigger paydays, bigger platforms, more opportunities, more influence. The bad is social media creates pressure to constantly go viral. This is what has got Claressa and her team obsessed. Viral moments, do things, go viral. Athletes feel pressure to entertain 24/7. You know why? Because conflict spreads faster than accomplishments. And that's just a fact. You got Amanda Serrano about to fight, Tara Brown about to fight. Who's really talking about those things? Nobody. Because it's all about the conflict and Claressa drama. And that's what we all talk about. Even I could do better when it comes to that. But hey, it is what it is. So that's the good, the bad. It's all the conflict spreading faster than accomplishments. Then the ugly. Drama can become addictive. Attention can replace discipline. Online validation can distort priorities. Then public feuds can damage brands permanently. These are the facts, people. But just understand those short-term versus long-term consequences. Short-term benefits of controversy. I mean, that's true, it exists. Viral moments. It's a short-term benefit of controversy. Increased views, trending topics, more attention. Claressa has done nothing but become a content creator. Because this is what most content creators want. Viral moments. Not all, but most. They want increased views. They'll say anything to try to get clicks and views. Trending topics, more attention. But the long-term risk, sponsor hesitation, damaged reputation, public fatigue, media distrust, loss of mainstream respect, and also just people looking at you like you're stupid. And I see this shit happen in real time. People out here always talking, always doing something, trying to get clicks and views. People stop paying attention to your ass. And this matters. It's called overexposure. But it also matters because legacy is built over decades. One viral moment can follow an athlete forever. And the greatest athletes understand emotional control as part of greatness. Claressa doesn't display any emotional control. And as a result, nobody really sees the greatness about her. They just see controversy and drama. They don't see anything great about Claressa. And as far as going viral, she's had too many. And they all follow her forever. 10 years from now, I don't think Claressa's going to want all these clips that are circulating. I don't think she's going to want to look at that. She'll be 41. 20 years from now, she'll be 51. You think I'm 51 now? Claressa get to my age. She ain't going to want to be dealing with that shit. You see, when you grow, when you evolve, when you get older, you get more wisdom. Most people learn. There's still some people out here with gray in their hair. Dumb fucks. Stupid. Ain't learned nothing. But for Claressa, I think she's going to get older and she's going to look back and she's going to say to herself, damn, I don't like that. I don't like that person. She's not going to want to see it. It's not like back in the day where you had to do an interview or there had to be a camera crew on set and doing an interview and catching a moment or somebody at a press conference. Now you got athletes in front of cameras recording themselves doing stuff. Everything is just out there. With these athletes of the past, you had to go and try to dig up and find where something was. And half the time, the good stuff was never recorded. It's just all word of mouth. Now everything's recorded. So the same way it takes decades to build legacy, it just takes one bad viral moment to destroy your legacy. And that's what a lot of people feel has happened with Claressa Shields. She's destroyed her legacy because of all the controversy, wanting to go viral and wanting to be violent and fight, punch people in the face and slap somebody like Alycia Baumgardner. So she's just destroyed her greatness. So at the end of the day, Serena Williams, Simone Biles, Angel Reese, Leila Ali, they all faced criticism. They all faced pressure. They all faced attacks. But many fans believe they protected their legacy by maintaining composure and professionalism publicly. Meanwhile, fans believe Claressa Shields is fighting two battles: opponents inside the ring, public perception outside the ring. And right now, many believe the outside battle is becoming the harder one, and I agree 100%. Her outside battle is a fight that she is losing. Let's say it's a 12-round fight. She's down. It's 10-0. The internet, the public perception, they won the first 10 rounds. Claressa hasn't won any. You got 2 rounds left. She needs a knockout. As far as the outside battle and public perception, she needs a knockout. What is she going to do? Because it looks like she's going to lose the decision. And her legacy forever compromised. Her greatness destroyed. But that's what she wanted. Well, she's got it now. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Just get yourself a bucket of popcorn and just sit back and enjoy this ride, because I'm telling y'all folks, this shit just getting started. This stuff between her and the internet and fans and other athletes and slapping Alycia Baumgardner, let me tell you something. That ain't done. That's not a done deal. Just sit back and pay attention. That's one of the worst mistakes she could have made. Slap that woman like that. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.